What's going on there? Magical land of the internet. Let's see if I can get this lined up correctly. That works for me. How you doing, guys? Matt Massive Beer Reviews back with another live review. I figured that I got tied up with a bunch of Christmas stuff today with the family and stuff like that. Very awesome Christmas. I had a great time. But then I didn't post anything. I just didn't have time. I was hanging out with family and friends and all that kind of stuff. And we're getting late here on the East Coast. Late for me, at least. It's 6 o'clock. This is about when me and the wife wind down. We do live on a farm, so we tend to wind down a little bit earlier than most. And I said, well, screw it. Let's do a live beer review. But I also wanted to just do a couple of reviews because I didn't do any yesterday. I don't know if I did any the day before. I did a live one yesterday, but you know what I mean. Just regular reviews. So I did a couple beer reviews. They're all piled over here for my delicious consumption after all of this. I figured I'd pop off this sucker that comes from my buddy Kyle from Brooklyn. So we have a window beer review with Thomas. He chimed in early, but we have my man Oak Ridge who's chiming in as he speaks. Said it can't stay long, so let's crack into this sucker. People watch this thing when they want to watch it. So my buddy Kyle sent this to me. This is KCBC, so it's got Kings County Brewers Collective. This is their TechnoPhobia. It's a barrel-aged Imperial Stout. For those playing along at home, what kind of barrel-aged stout is this? Well, buckle up, because this is an Imperial Stout aged in rum, vanilla, and rye whiskey barrels. So it's a vanilla whiskey barrel. I think that's more like rum and rye whiskey barrels, and then maybe vanilla is added. I don't know. With banana and cinnamon, 13%. I did not have dessert after Christmas. Well, we don't really do a big Christmas dinner here, but I have to have dessert, so this is going to be my dessert now. So we'll see how this sucker rolls. Get this wax off here. That's the best thing. This Forge Works bottle wax that I have is like the king at removing wax. This bottle is dead sexy. Anytime anybody does these kind of matte kind of thing, I dig it. And Oak Ridge chiming in saying he's got the steaks cooking. That's probably why he can't stick around long. We do the Christmas Eve thing. We're the family that does Christmas Eve, and we ate all the filet mignon on earth. Not just all the filet mignon on earth, filet mignon from cows that I raised here on the farm. And that was the coolest thing I've ever done. It was one of my lifelong dreams to eat an animal that I raised that wasn't like a chicken, something simple. And I did it. And I'm not going to lie to you, it was a pretty fucking cool experience. I mean, I've eaten it before, but to have it on Christmas dinner with family and friends and do all that kind of stuff is very, very, very cool. So, what are we thinking about this? You had the banana and cinnamon. You're going with a little bit of rum, vanilla, bourbon barrel aging. So I'm expecting, kind of a pastry stout here. But it could go a couple different directions. We'll see what's what. Like I said, KCBC is a very cool brewery. I did what they do. But I think this might be my first experience from them with a bigger beer, like a stout or something like that. Or at least a barrel-aged version of a beer. So, oh, my buddy Lubr's chiming in saying Merry Christmas, too. What's going on, homie? So, yeah, as you can see, dense, thick, big old 5 thick kind of darkness going on in there with that rich kind of where I like my coffee to look like colored head on it. Let's see if we get a nose on it. If this beer sucks, I'm going to be fucking flabbergasted because I'm not going to sit here and say I'm getting banana. Actually, I might be lying. I get it. But almost everything that's in here when you're talking about the whiskey, the rum, the cinnamon, the vanilla, even the banana to a certain extent, even though that's a lesser player, all of them are pretty even here. They're not like, it's not like an over-the-top 2x4 to the face of a stout. I mean, it's not hot on the nose. That cinnamon's not heavy-handed, which I really appreciate. I love me some cinnamon, but you know what I mean? I can get a little heavy-handed at times. The barrel is nice and meaningful. The beer is still there. Yeah, that smells really, 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 really good. Really soft. And you're talking about a hair on fire shit. You're talking about 13% alcohol by volume. This is not, you know what I mean, a small beer. And it's relatively fresh. It's a month and a half. No, not even. It's a little over a month old. It was packaged on November 17th, basically last month. So, yeah, you're looking at a month-old beer. This had to spend some time either in a bottle or in those barrels. Oh, man, it smells so good. It smells like what I want for dessert on Christmas. It does. It just totally works out that way. And the best part is I'm wearing my banana shirt, my Arsenal banana, bruised banana No room for racism, sure. It kind of works out all bananas today. So yeah, let's dive in. Cheers. Ooh, that's good. That's really good. Oh man. Oh man, that's delicious. And I'm not gonna lie to you. There's banana up in this piece. There's straight banana up in this piece. Oh, good God. Mm. It's just got this softness to it across the board. I mean, the whiskey is probably the biggest part of the kind of the spirit portion of the show here. I should say biggest, but sharpest point. The rum is there, but rum is infinitely rounder, infinitely softer. So it's got this kind of rich kind of rumminess with the sharp kind of whiskey component, almost like I don't think it comes off more as like Irish or even Canadian whiskey to me. I don't know what kind of barrels they use for this. That's how it kind of comes off for me. And it does not suck because the beer is so soft. I like that little bit of abrasive edge on it. The cinnamon's really, really cool in here, and that you can get it. It's readily apparent, but again, theme of the beer. It's not over the top. It's not like 2x4 to the face. Vanilla is probably the softest ingredient on here, even from the banana, which I appreciate. So many people are heavy-handed with vanilla nowadays. Almost everything just screams vanilla. To hear it's just kind of almost a glue that kind of glues the whole kind of dessert experience together. The beer's there. It's nice, rich beer. There's a roasted malt there. It's not over the top. It's got this nice density to it. Not gonna lie to you, the banana is a home run here because it does give me banana vibes, and almost like. And I'm ignorant when it comes to bananas and beer, so I'm not gonna sit here and tell you this is what bananas do. But it almost tastes like you're getting banana, organic banana in the beer itself, and it almost like it's added. It's like it's being like a mouthfeel component too. Like there's this soft richness that I can't attribute to much, but I kind of want to attribute it to the banana. Like I'm sure it's coming from somewhere. It could be oats. There could be some lactose in here they're not telling us about. Yada yada yada. But there's this soft richness to it that just makes me feel like it's like a bananas Foster kind of thing going on here with a dash of cinnamon on top with a little bit of rum drizzle. But when I say all that, think adulty, think non-overly sweet. It's not decadent. I can drink this whole 500 milliliter bottle is going to be drank tonight in a very quick fashion, and it's not going to be hard. It's not like I'm going to suffer through this, be like, oh my God, this is so sweet. Why am I drinking this? That's not going to happen. This is actually like crushably drinkable at 13% in a pastry level stout, but I wouldn't even call it a pastry level stout. It's like, it's good. It's just not sweet. That's what all these beers tend to come off now, especially in a pastry realm. Sweet on sweet on sweet on sweet. And it's just not happening here. This is a really, really complex and tasty pastry stout, whatever you want to call it. Very fun. Let's get in the comments real quick before we wrap this fucker up. Like I said, Oak Ridge said steaks are cooking. Lou Brew chiming in saying what's up. And then we have Boobins beer review saying Merry Christmas, Matt. Merry Christmas there, brother. Matt Douglas chiming in said we just went halves on a cow, a steak for days, son. That's what I'm talking about. That's what we used to do. We would go halvesies on a whole cow. But now we have 5 cows. We're selling a lot of it. There's no way we can keep it for ourselves, but and the cow thing for us is like a one-time off thing. We're not going to keep continually doing cows. We just got an opportunity to raise some cows, and we just had to do it. We have the field, we have the space, so we just did it, and it's reaping rewards, man. It's very, very cool. Bill Buck, Merry Christmas, everyone. Cheers, brother. What are you drinking? We'll get to that in a second. Dutch Beer Geek, Gerben chiming in saying Merry Christmas. It says Bill Buck says we cracked a we've been out there in orbit. We've been out there. That's a other half jam, right? Yeah. I believe I remember digging that one. Oak Ridge says, oh, we cracking. Let me get a wood line. This was a good one. It definitely is, Kyle. Thank you very much. That's Kyle from Brooklyn that sent this off. I really enjoyed this beer. And not for nothing, Kyle, I kind of was wishing I would love this beer because, with my my recent foray into saying, these other half things were leaving me wanting. I didn't want to be like, man, this guy just sends me stouts that I don't like and be that gasshole that fucking is a jerk. So I'm very, very happy that I enjoy this quite a bit. Remy chiming in, Beer Geek Collins saying Merry Christmas. Joe's beer review saying nice. I do like KCBC's IPA range with great labels and a massive beer reviews. I actually did a KCBC beer before this one off the air. This is a black Pilsner, and their labels are always great. Very kind of cool, kind of graphic design, like illustrative comic book level stuff. And it says, I like those cans, man. I mean, I know what you're talking about, brother. But yeah, this is actually a really, really delicious beer. First, I believe, like I said, first foray into a big burly beer from KCBC. And I believe probably my first foray into anything barrel aged. And by barrel aged, I mean spirit barrel aged. I think I've had some fodder stuff from them before. But most of it, as Joe has kind of mentioned, most of it has been kind of IPAs, hazy, stuff like that. On these reviews, I rarely do an extra little pour on air because I'm trying to save them. But this is worthy of an extra little pour. This is tasty, man. Very good on them. I'm trying to think. So what did I miss? If I missed anything? Okay, rye whiskey. That makes sense because I read it, but I forgot about it. When I talked about the whiskey, it came off more of like a spicy whiskey for me, but I went Irish whiskey / Canadian whiskey, so it does kind of make sense that it was rye whiskey barrel. Let's see, vanilla, the rum, banana, and cinnamon, man. I mean, it really did kind of hit the mark. And this is bottle 325 of 478. So they did 500 bottles of this. That's a fun one. Label's cool. I like KCBC and what they do. I can't wait till the pandemic's over, or at least we get the shit reined in and everything's great, and I can go out there and hang out with Kyle, and me and Keith go out and get shitty with Kyle in Brooklyn and chug a bunch of beers. It's gonna be fucking fantastic. Yeah. What else do we have going on here? We have Clinton Watts chiming in saying Merry Christmas. And Remy, great bottle, Matt. Did you drink some Christmas beers today? I just did a bunch of beer reviews. Like typically when I do beer reviews, I do like 3 or 4 in a sitting. And I did 4. This is the 4th out of 4. So I drank beer today, but when I do beer reviews, I like sit down, hit record, do the beer review. When I'm done, I stop it, push that beer off to the side, hit record, start the next one. So I've been recording beer reviews for about, 45 minutes maybe. So this is my first beers of the night. My brother-in-law, Daniel, he works like a swing shift. I don't know if it's called swing shift or whatever, but he doesn't get up till like noon because he doesn't go into work till like 3:30 or something like that. So typically all our holidays are a little bit later celebrated than normal. So we didn't even start like unwrapping presents here for Christmas until about noon. That shit's going to stop because I'm going to have a little bean popping out in March. So when the kid comes around, then Christmas is going to be when that motherfucker wakes up. So that'll change moving forward. But yeah, we get a late start. So after you sit down, wrap presents, we have some, this year we didn't have any family over except for our grandma. And Danny's girlfriend, she's, been pretty much quarantining over here. And stuff like that. So it was very nice, very tight knit, but I didn't even get downstairs and kind of decompress from today's festivities in the old Christmas realm until probably about 5:30 Eastern Standard Time. So yeah, right about when I started recording, because right now it's 6:15 Eastern Standard Time. So just getting into them. It's going to be a good night. I got some video games to play. I got to finish up doing my Massive Beers Best of Awards. I put up a kind of placeholder video, kind of a reminder today of the Best of Awards. I'll be doing those Sunday. So I got, what is it? Not even 20, 48, 36 hours. I have about 36 hours to go through all my reviews and whittle them down to what I'm going to do this year. I've finally decided in the format. It's going to be one video. It's going to be all live. I might record it locally and re-upload it in segments, just so it's a little bit more tight and tidy for everybody else. But I'm just going to do top 20 beer reviews of the beers I've reviewed over the past year, not my favorite beers that I've had over the past year. Just my top 20 favorite, regardless of style, top 20 favorite beers that I ever reviewed pretty much from late December until right about now, because I do it a little bit early, so it's not January 1 to December 31st. I'm going to do my top 10 shelfies, just because if I didn't do shelfies, I think people will get violently angry. You know what I mean? People love the shelfies. I mean, outside of, I would say, mystery beers, which are obviously more common, because I do 2 a week of mystery beers, like shelfies, that's like the big thing everybody looks to every year. And then I decided to add my favorite breweries of the year. I'm not sure how long that list is going to be. I have to actually go through them, and just talk about my favorite breweries of the year. It could be a list of 5, could be a list of 20, could be a list of 11. I don't even know how that's going to work out. But I think breweries in them themselves, outside of the beer that they make, deserve a little bit of propping up, especially in today's world with COVID and it's being real tough for people to do what they need to do when it comes to just existing in COVID and drinking beer and all that kind of stuff. I think the least I could do is kind of, shout out a couple of breweries, and if that gets them one more person that goes and buys their beer, then I'm doing my job. By job, I mean not getting paid for drinking beer on YouTube, because that's how shit works. Man, that's tasty. Good God. This is really good. This is really, really good. So let's see this. Let's go through I'm going to go through the comments real quick, and we'll do a little wrap up here, and we'll go from there. A bunch of people saying hi to each other. Remy saying awesome. Let's see. Damn, so much reviews. I feel like how you handle. I really like how you handle it. I don't know. It's called being a shut-in hermit and just having nothing better to do. Marco Gianni says hi and Merry Christmas, everyone. And Joe chiming back in, ho ho, beer holland. So let's wrap this up. Is this one of the better barrel-aged stouts that I've had as of late? This could be an hour discussion, because I don't think it's one of the better barrel-aged beers I've had as of late. I think it's one of the better beers that happen to be one of the better adjunct stouts that I've had as of late that just so happens to be barrel-aged. It's not like this beer is winning because it's the barrel aging process it went through. It adds character. Obviously, that spicy rye kind of came off. Obviously, that rum I talked about, but I wouldn't necessarily kind of classify it as an epically amazing barrel aged beer. But it's an added component to multiple levels of adjuncts that just work out really pretty. So, is one of the better adjunct stouts that I've had as of late? Yes. Man, I can be Mount Rushmore status, man. King Shitfuck Mountain. That's pretty good. Value and availability. I actually know the number on this, because I actually looked this beer up real quick. I didn't look it up for information or for reviews, for those keeping score at home. I looked it up so I know I could copy and paste all the information about the beer. So I didn't have to type it out. So let's see what we have here. This is $22 a bottle. Okay. Oh, and it does contain lactose. I didn't read that because I didn't read anything. So it does have lactose in it. So that's your mouthfeel. I kind of wondered about where the mouthfeel was coming from. $22, man. I can't get on board with that, man. I know it's tons of barrels, tons of adjuncts, but this is how many ounces is in there? I want to say 500 milliliter. It's 16.9 ounces, right? Yeah, 1.9 ounces. If you told me it was a $7.50 for 22, I'd be okay with it. But that price, it's a bit steep. It's COVID time, so I'm not going to argue, nor would I argue because it was sent to me. Thank you very much, Kyle. You are a crazy man. Availability. I don't know if it's brewery only. I doubt it. Only because I know that they do kind of send a lot of stuff to kind of market out there in distribution. So who knows? But you can order direct from them and they'll ship to your house and all that kind of stuff. So it's COVID times. It's weird. And leave you with, if you like what we like this beer. If you like barrel-aged stouts and Bananas Foster, I don't know, man. Like it's It's probably one of the more adulty versions of a pastry stout that I've had. You know what I mean? It's just it's really tasty, really well done. The banana shows, and the one thing I tried to hammer home in the actual review itself, which hopefully comes off, is that every flavor is meaningful, but nothing is too far in one direction or the other to where it doesn't seem cohesive, which is probably the most impressive part of the beer. So if you like succinct, well done beers in general, and also love kind of flavorful adjunct stouts, this is going to be awesome. And last comment, maybe, for the review. Do you have a favorite brewery, Matt, that are making Farmost stout? So he's saying who makes the best stouts? I think that's what you're asking me. Oh man, Struce, Struce. I mean, that's kind of like weird because it's like, expect me to call out like Other Half or something like that. But honestly, if you're talking straight stout game, Struce is kind of king shit of fuck mountain. Now we don't get a ton of their stuff over here. We get some of it, but not everything. In the States, if I were just going to keep it to the States, because that's what I drink the most, stouts. Who fucking crushes it in the stouts? There's a couple. I'm gonna rattle off a few, just for the sake of conversation. Stouts. Kane Brewing in New Jersey. Fox Farm Brewing. Let's see. Stout wise, fucking Hill Farmstead, obviously. I'm trying to Mortalis Brewing up in New York. They make banging fucking stouts, like really good stouts. Who else I want to call it for a stout game? I know I'm missing some people. I'm going to get really, really mad about it. Barreled Souls up in Portland, Maine area. They bang out some really good stouts. Who else does it? Mass Landing does really good stouts, especially at a decent price point. Their Gunner's Daughter at like, what is it, 5 or 6 and change is amazing for its ABV level. Side Project. There's a lot of boutique kind of crazy breweries that I could rattle off. I'm trying to think of who does them. Hot Butcher, oddly enough. I'm not going to sit here and say that just because they send me shit. Their stout game is underrated. There's somebody I'm missing, and I'm getting very angry about not bringing them up. This is going to bug me now, but those are a couple. But there's a ton of great ones. Oh, man. There's this one slip in my mind. I know it, and it's gonna fucking infuriate. Oh, Rev. Might be Rev Brewing in Florida. New brewery. Relatively new brewery, but their stout game is really fun. So let's cap it there. Kyle saying they called off Bananas Foster in an IG post, so there you go. I just cheated, and I was reading whatever they had in their IG post. That's what I do, because I'm that kind of guy. And what do you think about the use of lactose in beers? I'm fine with it. Listen, what do I think about garlic and food? I think it's fucking fantastic. What do I think about lactose in beers? It's fucking fantastic. A lot of people put way too much garlic in food, and a lot of people put way too much fucking lactose in beer. If it's there, if it's meaningful, you can complicate any recipe. See Matt Douglas saying Alchemist Luscious. See, I'm gonna miss people. I can't help it, man. But you can complicate so many things with being too much. I'm a fan of, I always want a little bit less than a little bit too much, except when it comes to barrel aging. If you're like, keep it in the barrel for 6 months, I'd rather 12. If you're going to keep it in for 12, I'd rather you do 16. If you can keep it in 16, let's just go for fucking 2 years. Why not? So it's one of those things where like a lot of people just throw more at the thing and it'll be better. I don't think that is a sound way to go about it. And but I think a lot of people do that with lactose and a lot of other ingredients. So I'm cool with it, and just some people use too much of it. So there you go. That's it for the comments. And by that I mean I'm just not going to answer anymore. I'm just going to cut this short because I want to go hang outside and not do stuff on YouTube. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this relatively quick 24-minute live review and answer session. Hopefully you're enjoying some KCBC. Hopefully you're giving the golf clap to Kyle for sending me $22 bottles of delicious fucking beer, motherfuckers. I can't wait to buy him beers all day at fucking Folks Beer. And hopefully you guys enjoy the reviews. Hopefully you're enjoying an awesome holiday season. Hopefully you join me on Sunday for the Massive Beer Awards, because those mean something. And yeah, there you go. Beer Massive podcasting stuff that I barely do anymore. Hope to see you next time. Cheers, gentlemen and ladies, and everybody in between. There you go.